Hi everyone, welcome back to the sunnyside.net, where we have weekly love horoscopes, hypnosis, meditations, fun astrology stuff, and interesting videos on covert hypnosis and cute NLP tricks that you can use in your daily life. Hi everyone, I'm Sunny. Alright. Oh, I didn't say it. And today, I'm going to show you guys how to seduce a Scorpio by popular demand. One of the Sunnysiders, or this was written in, so here we go, how to seduce a Scorpio. But first things first, if you like the video, then please give it a thumbs up and share the video on Facebook or on your YouTube playlist. And if you have any questions or comments, then please leave them in the comment section below, and I'll try to answer them in the weekly love horoscopes video. Next, it's been said a million times that all game is inner game. So, if you need a little help with the confidence required to actually go up and talk to the person that you have your heart set on, and Scorpio is a super intimidating sign, right? So, again, if you need a little help with confidence to speak to new people, then listen to one of the self-hypnosis meditations on this channel. They work, very popular, and they're a lot of fun. Alright, next. Here we go. How to seduce a Scorpio. Now, at first glance, right, or even by reputation, you'd think that a Scorpio would be easy to catch. They're sexual by nature and they love mysteries. So, it's logical to think that simply walking up to a Scorpio and being sexy and mysterious would do the trick. You know, it'd automatically open the door, but not so fast. Seduction doesn't really work like that. And if you want to avoid the friend zone, which I'm pretty sure you do, then this is what you do. Follow these steps. First, let's see what we're working with here. Scorpio is a fixed water sign. This means they are emotional. And once they get their mind and emotions set, then they're not changing for nothing. And this works both for and against your game. If Scorpio's into you, then your relationship will be able to withstand almost any kind of adversity. Almost. But you're forewarned. Again, it's been said a million times. Break a Scorpio's trust and it's game over forever. These guys are fixed water. Think Mr. Ice, or Mrs. Ice, the Ice Queen. They represent death, rebirth, the dark side of life, sex, secrets. They're extremely good with money, business, and to top it all off, they're psychic. They're also tremendously loyal, almost to the point of blind loyalty. And by nature, although Scorpios are easily capable of going it alone, believe it or not, Scorpios are family guys. Seriously. Anyways, and at heart, all Scorpios are looking for a soulmate to explore the mysteries of life with. And this means Scorpios are into long-term relationships. So, but they're not that easy to catch, right? But they're not that difficult. So, if you're just looking for a good time and Scorpio senses it, your game is over. It's probably the main reason Scorpio and the faster signs don't always work. Scorpio's fixed, right? So, constant change is not really the thing, especially in relationships. And actually, for most of the Scorpios I know, they'd rather go it alone. Like, simply, they'd rather go it alone than waste time with someone who simply isn't on the same journey. So, somewhere or somehow along the line, you're going to have to demonstrate to your Scorpio that you're serious about the relationship and the beautiful journey that you're going to have together, or you're just not going to make the cut. And here's interesting, the longer you wait to make your move, if you wait too long, then Scorpio will see this as weakness and they will lose respect for you. And they'll totally next you. Remember, they'd rather go it alone than waste time with the wrong person. So don't be pushy. But also, no weak game. Be honest, strong, and generally be your confident best. Next, Scorpio is dark and very intense. And they are the undisputed bad boy of the zodiac. They understand the hidden nature of things, and they're well versed in tearing things apart to rebuild something better. And yes, they can be very cold about it. Now, this intense nature does make some of the softer signs run for cover, but Scorpios almost never attack unless they're provoked. Right? The Family Guys, remember? But get this, one of the things that will provoke a Scorpio is boredom. Yep. So, if you do manage to get your Scorpio, then don't rock the boat with too many sudden changes, but definitely keep them busy with little puzzles or problems they can solve. Remember, the devil finds work for idle hands, and idle or not, the devil is always talking to Scorpio anyways, so by all means, keep them busy. Next! That's great, Sonny, but how's that gonna help? Okay, here we go. Let's say you're out somewhere cool, right? It's dark, and a little funky, maybe even a little bit dangerous. There won't be a lot of people around because even though Scorpio is good with the group, they can be loners who are not necessarily down with tons of attention. And one point here, and this is important, this doesn't mean they're not interested in anything or they don't open up, but rather, like Capricorn, Scorpios are just private. Sure, some of them will talk and talk and talk. I mean, Scorpios love to test you before they jump in. But if you listen closely, you'll realize that they aren't exactly revealing things about themselves that isn't already public knowledge. They're a little sneaky like this, so be careful. Now, once again, Scorpio rules secrets, and they like to help people. So don't be surprised to find yourself revealing dark secrets to a Scorpio that you wouldn't tell to anyone else. This happens all the time. These guys are amazing counselors and therapists. And like Libra, who is super flirty and easily finds rapport with complete strangers, a Scorpio's ability to get people to open up and talk about their problems is extremely addictive. And extremely seductive as well. Even though it's a simple conversation. So be careful. And always remember, if you haven't clued in yet, Scorpios bite, right? But if you can handle it, then the rewards are such that you simply, you can't get them from any other sign. I'm just saying, sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. Alright, back to the story. Forget the funky cool night spot or the coffee shop by the beach or the used bookstore. And those are all Scorpio hangouts. And a mental note here, it's kind of interesting. Scorpios like to give books as presents. Just pointing it out. It's weird, but whatever. Alright, let's say you're at a party. You see someone helping out the host. This person is kind of quiet and almost shy, but at the same time, they're not exactly a wallflower. No, they're not the center of attention. But like Aquarius, they're kind of taking it all in. Where they differ is, if Scorpios see something that needs a little help, then they'll more than likely jump right in. Aquarius, and Libra for that matter, probably just gonna watch everything fall apart. Or Gemini, they'll just watch it. Anyways, they're probably dressed in red or black. And it's very common for Scorpios to add a little color to their hair. If you haven't spotted them yet, so that's what they look like. And if you haven't spotted them yet at this party, then check the kitchen. For some strange reason, Scorpios and Cancers and some Tauruses like to hang out in the kitchen at parties. Again, it's weird, but go with it. So, you walk into the kitchen, right? And the darkest, sexiest person you've ever seen is happily chatting away with 1 to 3 people. It's a small group, nothing too big or crazy. Then, they look at you with a stare that completely undresses you at a soul level. They don't say anything, but you just can't help yourself, and you move closer to join the conversation. Suddenly, and without your knowledge, there's a subtle shift in the conversation. You find yourself not necessarily at ease, but you open up and share a secret. It feels good, like it does feel good. And for some reason, you feel safe and protected, but at the same time, a little nervous. People will come into the kitchen, then they'll leave, but this person isn't going anywhere. They seem fixed, but at the same time, content and almost peaceful. But you can tell on an almost intuitive level that there's a lot more going on under the surface. Now, if you've managed all of this and you find yourself strangely falling for someone who's a bizarre cross of stoic saint and a guy or girl who looks like they have the devil on speed dial, even if they're not your usual type, just because of a magnetic stare and a feeling of passion, intensity, and mystery, then my friend, you just got hooked by a Scorpio. Great, Sonny, now what? Okay, here's the good news. If you can make it to the inner circle of the conversation group, then it's not actually going to be that difficult. There is a sneaky way to get a Scorpio, and they will not be able to resist. First, break into the conversation. Scorpios are one of the most curious signs. So, by nature, they're going to want to hear what you have to say, and they're going to want to figure you out. Now, don't be too over the top, don't be too aggressive, and watch your manners. Like Capricorn, Scorpio does not want to be embarrassed in public. It's something they will not forgive you for. But, along the way, you're going to have to be a little off color. Scorpio is not into boring, and they want to see your inner strength. So, here's how you do it. When you're in the circle talking, bring things in closer together. Alright? Bring things in closer and speak a little quieter. Demonstrate that you're about to be off color and you're aware of your surroundings and you know how to speak in hushed tones so you don't offend prying ears. This is important to Scorpio. Scorpio can be way over the top intense, and they easily offend others just by being themselves, and they know it. So, while out in public, so demonstrating that you can be private while out in public will go a long, long way to win their heart. Some more don'ts. Do not flatter or overly compliment them. Of all the signs, these guys know exactly who they are, and your comments will reflect more on you than on them. And if it's obvious flattery and not sincere, then they're gonna get pissed off, and they will totally dismiss you. If you fail to impress, then Scorpios can easily come across as arrogant and dismissive, and you really don't want to bring out the cold side of your Scorpio at the beginning. Do not use jealousy or talk about exes. This is completely off limits and will end your game once again forever. Scorpios want to be number one. Their secondary ruler is Mars, so they're super competitive. And once they go from maybe to no, then it's no forever. And again, they can't help themselves. This is hardwired in. And here's where it's tough. Scorpio has a way of looking at you and asking questions that will reveal secrets of your past. And although they are asking, they're actually testing you. It's subtle and it's dangerous. Remember, these guys bite, so be careful. Alright, back to the action. Here we go, back to the action. So you're chatting and having fun, la la la, laughing, and it get, whoops! Oh, come on, man. So you're chatting and you're having fun. Where did we go here? And again, you feel safe, but also a little off balance. And you're curious how this person who seems so nice could possibly have such an outrageous dark side. But they do. You're mesmerized by their gaze, their confident sexuality, and their authenticity. So what's next? Okay, here's the secret. Unlike some of the other signs, how do you know if a Scorpio likes you? If a Scorpio likes you, and you really don't know each other that well, then a Scorpio will not touch you. Seriously. They are private, and this includes their personal space. If you're old friends, yeah, then they will laugh loudly, play, and give the biggest hugs. But if it's love at first sight, then they'll be super cautious. They will hover, and they will dote, and they'll follow you around, but they will not touch unless they feel safe. And, keep that in mind. It's neat to see. Next, here we go. Like Capricorn, you have to isolate the target. Most important. This is mandatory. But unlike some of the other signs, this should be easy. Scorpios by nature will just kind of stand there by themselves anyways. You know, it's really funny to watch. So, you can either wait until they're alone and then reapproach them, or you can suggest that the two of you go somewhere a little darker and maybe quieter. And you know, now dark and quiet might be a seduction tip for some, but for Scorpio, it's a natural habitat. So don't go thinking that suggesting some place is secluded will be a big hint. They're used to it, and it's probably where they're headed anyways. So you're gonna have to work a little harder when you get there. Scorpio, right? These guys are psychic, but they can also be clueless at times. Anyways, here's what you do. You guys listening? When you get them alone, say, I think I know you. Yep. You could say, I don't know how or why, but for some reason I can't, for some reason I can't explain. I think I know you. And for Scorpios, this is attraction crack. Like, you've suddenly elevated yourself from interesting to psychic mystery. It'll be as if an unknown or higher source has placed the two of you together, and for whatever reason, you're supposed to be together. Now, you don't have to say that you think the two of you are fated or destined to be together. You don't have to be that crazy. The Scorpio will do that automatically when you say that you think you know them. And they won't be able to resist this. It works almost every time on every Scorpio. These guys believe in a higher calling. So if the higher calling says you're the one, then Scorpio will think you really are the one, and they won't fight it. They'll just go along trying to figure everything out, and eventually they'll take the lead and try to seduce you. It's serious. I mean, like, I'm serious. It's fun to watch. These guys pride themselves in being in control at all times. They're one of our biggest control freaks. But add a bit of psychic curiosity, and they will take the lead trying to figure out the puzzle that you place before them. And here's the really fun part. They'll think it's their idea. They really will. And they are trying to seduce you. This is also one of the secrets of waking or covert hypnosis. It works because the subject thinks the embedded command is actually their idea. Pretty sneaky, huh? Anyways, you've isolated the target, and you've injected a Scorpio-style psychic mystery. Next, you have to touch them. Right? Somehow. You have to literally reach out and touch them to break the physical barrier. And if you've played your cards correctly, then they will escalate the touching very quickly. Scorpios are our most intense sign. So once they perceive a green light, then they're on. And you better be ready. If you lead a Scorpio on and then freeze up, then that's weak game. And at this point, it doesn't matter how smooth you are or how fun and exciting you may be, a weak game will cause a Scorpio to lose respect for you. And this is something you do not want. If your Scorpio respects you, then they'll do anything for you. If respect begins to slip, they won't even answer the phone, let alone return your message. It's just something to be aware of. By and large, Scorpios follow a predestined script. So all you really have to do is write yourself into the script and they'll follow along. If you add some elements of psychic mystery, then they'll chase you. I mean, it's really that simple, but getting to that particular point is going to be a bit difficult. They intimidate. They can be rude and aloof. They are super intense and our number one passionate sign. But if you want to get them, then you're going to have to be really strong anyways, maybe a bit psychic, and definitely you have to make Scorpio feel that you're supposed to be together. And that's it. That's it. Is that it? Sounds simple enough. I'll do that again. I'll say that again. All you have to do is add an element. You have to get them alone. Isolate the target. Be a little off color. Show the Scorpio that you're a bit dangerous as well and you can handle the Scorpio danger. And then, tell them that you think you know them from somewhere or something. That'll have them hooked. Then they'll chase you. Scorpio's not really that tough. But you got to kind of get in there and you got to convince someone who isn't really interested in, someone who's arrogant and doesn't want to listen to anyone. But if you like them, you like them, and I absolutely wish you the best. All right, if you have any questions or comments, of course, please leave them in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer them in the weekly Love Scopes video. Thanks in advance for sharing the videos on Facebook and adding them to your YouTube playlist and subscribing to the channel. And if you need any help with confidence in your inner game, then please listen to one of the hypnosis meditations on the channel. They just flat out work. So, that's it. From thesunnyside.net, I'm Sunny, wishing everyone the best of a beautiful week. I sincerely hope you get your Scorpio, and I'll see you soon.